Hello everybody, my name is Elenator and welcome back to Ultimate Minecraft Polyworld episode... What are we on? Episode 467, 1.17.1 Release Candidate 2, Day 6626. Alrighty, we have more work to do placing down these chests because we have a lot of chests that need to be placed down. And I don't know which one of these I was last on. Here it is. Is this where I ran out? It would appear so. Artabuzz. Pretty sure that's me going live. I feel like this is going to be a very slow day. We'll see how long it takes to use up all the wood we have. I think the math was somewhere around 33 stacks of double chests. Or 33 stacks of chests. And this was, what, 6? So then after this, let's just say 32. So then after the 6 means 28. No, sorry, 26. So I'll need to make 26 stacks of chests after this. Oop, it's the top. Howdy, Paul. Welcome back. If I do it in sets of 6, then that means 30. I need to make 6 stacks. I wonder if it's faster to do one side than the other. Anyways, I'm trying to do mental math here. Lag spike. Was that a chunk border? Maybe. I'll figure it out as I get there. I'll just need to know 36 after this. You know what it could be? I could do 24. 24 instead of 26. There are no other chests. At least not yet. We're gonna get copper chests eventually. Oh no, Paul, this is the only chest type. There's trap chest, and the ender chest. Having this full of ender chests would be far more expensive. I'd rather just go tree chopping than collect all that obsidian. I was just not thinking about it. I wonder if someone ever made a terrain mod that brings back the 1.17 or 1.7 to 1.17 style terrain, but for 1.18. Probably. Trapdoor or another ladder and hole in the back. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Well, this one's only half. Hooray. Oops. I would not be putting a hole in the middle and a ladder in there for the reason of these shelves need to be complete. Everything would have to go outside the wooden platform that has already been constructed, which would require even more infrastructure for me to access. And last one. Alright, we are getting there. Boop. I'll take your slime balls. Nom 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 nom. Alright, so with that one taken care of, now we move on to this area. Nope. Hooray, I made it. I'm a ninja. You know what I could do? I have an idea, but I don't know how much faster it would be. Oops, hold up, those are all backward. Did I do the floor beneath me facing the correct way? Alright, cool, looks like I did. I need to make sure these are all facing outside. And I think, yep, that was the top layer. Why would they need another way of accessing the double chests? You can access the chests from either side. Or if you're talking about the second row in the back. It's just decoration. And I realized I forgot all of this here. Oops. And I'm also out of chests, so we're gonna catch some Z's and reset the weather timer. I don't remember how much wood this turns out to be. Well, that only made 4. Or if we do that, that'll be 3. There we go. In fact, I might as well just grab all of it. I'm not playing on a server. This is single player. Ignoring the technicality of the local server running internally. Well, we're gonna run out of wood. I'll just keep all this on me. Pack up the bed. I'll probably go tree chopping later then. We'll see how I'm feeling it because I realize I also have a hole that I started digging and then I never finished. That's a big oops on my part. We'll have to go back there when I can. Oh, missed a row. I never did the second layer right here. And zoop. Alright, so that one's done. I think this one was only partially finished. This was when I was deciding how exactly I wanted to do all it. I'm starting to wonder though if it would be faster to just lay down one layer and then put the second layer. I feel like though I'd rather fill the shelves up sequentially. That way it's easy to know exactly where I left off. Of course, it would have been practical to only have one layer of chests to begin with and not have them stacked on top of each other. It takes so much longer needing to place down the chests on the upper level than the first row. Oh wait, was that the last layer? Indeed it was. Boop. That's not gonna work. Or would it? Hold on, let's find out. I guess I would have worked. I feel like there's no easy way of getting access to the middle because the logs, the support columns are in the middle. I think when we go back, we're going to see how many what other wood types we have a large amount of other than oak. I'm thinking of just leaving oak as it is. I'd be all free to spend any of the other wood types, though. Oop. And just like that, we're getting low on chests already. That's not right. That's not right either. Nope, we're almost done with the smaller row. I'll probably be starting on the larger outside area though, compared to the inside when I do the other end. Having a door within the log would reduce structural integrity. Of course, this is Minecraft, doesn't matter, but trying to apply Costco logic here. And here we are. Once this is done, this will mark the completion of half the shelves in here. Boop. Ta-da. We are now halfway done. And I've spent a massive amount of wood making all these chests, only to be halfway and realize we're going to need many, many stacks more. In fact, I don't have the math on me. I don't feel like doing it. Trying to figure out based on how much wood I've spent here being about halfway, which means I would need twice the wood of what I've spent. And then that would be how many more chests I would need. Either way, a lot of math. We'll start back over here. As the chest placement continues. Once we use up the last of these chests, it will be time to head out. Well, I'll see how much wood I have that I can spend at the warehouse first, and then decide whether or not I want to keep placing shelves or keep working on that hole I started digging. Both of those are just about the only two things that need to be done. And I have, well, in regards to stream time, I have, after today, Wednesday and Thursday. We'll figure out what's going on Friday. Friday of next week, I should say. And then that will be that. Yawn, I say as if it's been a long day. I won't be chopping down infinite foofy trees. Those are too many leaves. They're not good for collecting wood. I would be chopping down the roofed forest trees, whether or not they're made out of spruce or dark oak. That part does not matter for this project. I feel like they're also easier to chop down than jungle because all the logs are together. The double wide jungle trees have a lot of wood, but they're super tall. I don't plan on chopping down regular trees. I want to say dark oak trees have the highest log to leaf ratio. On average, the amount of logs they have is high compared to the amount of leaves, which are low. That's what we need. I don't plan on duplicating wood when there are plenty more trees I can chop down. And this is also end of the line. There we go. There goes all of the spruce wood I wanted to spend. Let's go see what we have. So anything other than oak, since oak tends to be what I usually build out of. So anything other than oak I can use to continue construction. Oh, hold up, let me... All good. So weird seeing all this stuff fade into the distance at a much closer range. Much more fog compared to before. That'll change tomorrow. I do not need any access to the middle. This is not supposed to be a functional store. It's just supposed to be decorational. The chests are decorational, I don't need to access them. And I still haven't fixed the sign texture. I was supposed to do that. Poop. Toss the slime balls. Free up slime ball space. Alright, how are we looking over here? So we have some of that. We have a moderate amount of dark oak. I'm gonna leave the special nether wood types because those are harder to acquire. But everything that's a complete stack, other than oak, we're gonna leave oak. Alright, well, there's a moderate amount of wood, although this will not get us to what we need. How about I throw that on the ground real fast, and then I'll just turn all these into chests now. I wonder how it chooses which wood type to go for. I think we'll hold on to that last stack of jungle logs. If this math is adding up how I think it will, I should leave that one alone. Unless, if I were to say grab another half of you plus half of you. There you go, that'll add up. Because I'm trying to do everything within 2 stacks of logs. Ta-da, there we go. Hooray for the progress we're making. This will get me just a little extra time. It's already been over 20 minutes I've been placing down chests and getting more. I figured this would take me a while. Turns out the crafting is the easy part. And I'm so glad I built this here. Caution, void hole. Even though I built it asymmetrically. If I really wanted, I could just redo the top part. I think. I'd have to look at it again. Because I think I would only need to change the proportion, and then that would get it going. Well, either way, not important. Sun, nope, not going down yet. I just see the light difference. You see how bright this is? Then you head over here. This is not the same. Why is there a minor ambient lighting difference? How's the modern skylight slightly darker than torches? That's what throws me off. Wait a minute, wasn't this a problem in the 360 series? I'm pretty sure that same problem was on there. I don't know how that happened. Oh well. Nothing to be done about it. Alright, well either way we'll see how far this goes. How far the 9 stacks of chests will take us. Even though I needed like 26 stacks after what I had. I don't remember. I'd need to do the math again. Estimate how much is left. Thought I saw like a skeleton or something walking around. I just saw a small glimpse of it, like the bow. What I might have seen though was just the color difference of the lamp I had in the ground. To think that I have the power to make this place completely dark, all just by flipping a lever. The power within said whoever from, I think it was SpongeBob. I think that was the cartoon. Maybe it was the surfer guy. I don't remember. Oop, that's not helpful. It is kind of nice that we ended up with 9 stacks after this, because that means I just have to place all 3 stacks of chests in my hotbar 3 times. It adds up nice and cleanly, filling up every slot. Totally not relevant since we're going to end up spending every single chest we have on us. But it's just nice when things add up, even though as soon as I place down the first chest, not all 3 slots are going to be full. Random Minecraft math that totally is unimportant. I just like inventory organization. And I feel like now it's turning dark. It'll be time to catch some Z's and reset the weather timer soon. Alright, yeah, I do have one more. I couldn't remember if that was a top row or not. How about we sleep? This way, I don't need to worry about any bad guys spawning on top of the shelves. Alright, what shelf was I working on? Looks like this one. Isn't today Tuesday? I thought... Oh, wait, no, just kidding. Did they change Snapshot Day from Wednesday to Tuesday? Was that an official change? I remember back in the early days of Snapshots, it used to be Thursdays. Then it was changed to... I almost think it was Tuesdays for a little bit. And then it was changed to Wednesdays. Is it back to Tuesdays? I would have to go back and look at the snapshots again and compare a calendar to know which day of the week. You can't just tell me January 25th, 2014, and expect me to know what day of the week that is. There's a simple algorithm to figure out, but I'm not going to do that. I don't have to memorize that. There was a movie I watched where someone was able to figure out what day of the week a particular date was. Boop. I feel like Waddles would be the name of the duck that wanted lemonade, because he always waddles away. Waddle, waddle, waddle. I'm getting hungry. I can't sprint anymore. Num 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 num. Delicious bacon. Nope, that one's not right. There we go. Oh, Waddles is a YouTuber. People have all these odd names. It says Zelinator. We're surprisingly a lot farther than I thought I would get. I didn't realize that I'd be this close to the end here of the first row. A ninja with green hair. Interesting. I hear a face mask. The first thing I think, even though not related, first thing I think is Dream's mask reveal. And he finally took it off. Congratulations, buddy. What you put on the internet stays on the internet. There are plenty of people who have downloaded and shared videos and images of the big reveal. But it's on archive.org. Wouldn't be surprised if someone re-uploaded the video there. So close yet so far. We are nearing the end. But at the same time, I still have a massive amount of wood I'll have to spend to get this going. It'll be nice once these shelves are completed, because it means that finally, after a very, very long time, whatever chests I find in dungeons or strongholds or other structures, I finally get to keep the chests, and I don't have to spend the chests immediately after I pick them up, trying to fill in the shelves over here. I have warehouse number 4, because I ran out of space. Sad times. I didn't expect it to fill up. I should say I didn't expect a third one to fill up, but oh well. So at least now the next warehouse is prepared, because 1.18 doesn't add any new blocks. 1.19 adds only a few stuff. 1.20 adds a little bit. 1.21 is mostly copper and tough variations, I believe. And then we got all the small stuff after, because 1.21 is the most convoluted major version in Minecraft's history. After release, I should say. We're going to ignore infdev because infdev is very convoluted. Indev from start to finish is a much smaller change compared to infdev start to finish. Anyways, not important. Was there a point I was trying to make to that? Nah, not particularly. You know what? I probably should have gone the other way. Oh, you know what? I know why I came back here. Food. You know, yeah, I'll go for you. Alright, let's get the axe repaired. You know what? I probably should be repairing my pickaxe instead. Alright, how are we doing on slime balls? 33. Oh, man. The chest plate's doing terrible. Was this all that thorns from the wither? Did I not know that? I wasn't paying attention at all. The chest plate is just about the only armor piece that's worth putting thorns on because the amount of durability required. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to the Enderman farm. The boots are also not doing too good either. If the snapshot is out, what is everything it adds and changes? We're gonna go pick up a bunch of XP and get our stuff fixed. Also have the boat. Oh, you know what? I have an idea. Hold on. Before we leave, we're gonna be smart about this. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna reset our spawn point here. That way we don't respawn at spawn when we come out of the end. Alrighty, so let's go get the goods. I'm ready, says SpongeBob. That makes 2 SpongeBob references in a short period. Alright, go, go, go. While we still have speed. Oh, we got close. That was pretty far up the tube. Says Henry, no. Kid Danger, there we go. Boop. Saw the sun going down, I think, but that's okay. We'll just zoop way back here and head back to the farm. I did not realize my armor received so much damage in all those wither battles. I was not at all paying attention to the amount of durability it used up. Now, the reason why it's not good having thorns on your boots or helmet is because it does not have the durability total to sustain. Unless you're continuously getting good XP. At least decent amount. But taking on all those withers It was not good enough. So we're gonna make sure everything's all nice and repaired. It would have been terrible if I did in fact have thorns on my boots, and I lost the boots because of the wither from thorns doing its stuff. Soul speed is alright though for me to keep on the boots because I'm not continuously running across soul sand. But let's get going. I guess we'll have to sit here for a little while. The Enderman Master is still doing what it does. And this is the part where it'd be nice to whip out Holio, do that for a little bit, but alas, I don't think they ever brought it back. We're looking at 592. Oh hey, the dragon egg's name is Pink as well. Did you make a new world for your tests? For the snapshot you're playing on? You know what'd be nice? I don't think I would do it, but it would be kind of cool to fight the dragon again. That would give me a whole bunch of XP. Axe is done. Well, the chestplate's already looking much nicer. That one's done. Thankfully, we don't have to be here for very long. Alright, so now we're just keeping an eye out for whenever the progress bar for the XP moves. That's when I know the armor I'm wearing has filled up on durability. I never did get around to trying to figure out how to speed up the process here. Oh well. Ah, so close. 568 out of 592. If each Enderman drops 10 XP, and it's 1 XP per durability point, it only would require a few Endermen. Hooray, we're all good now. I'll just finish off who's left. Alright, that was fun while it lasted. Thankfully I did not need to stick around too long. That's not what I'm looking for. Zoop. Excuse me, Mr. Enderman, I've got work to do. Mostly. 45 minutes. 45 minutes from starting the stream to wrapping everything up that I was working on in regards to placing down the chests. So I think we'll investigate the hole, because I still want to do something with that. I have a plan. I have a plan for what I want to do. We just have to get there first. Whoop. Excuse me, all of y'all. Trying to get through. Maybe I should have kept that one pearl. I could have thrown it. That would speed up the process to getting back here. And zoop. It's nighttime, so we'll catch some Z's and reset the weather timer. And I think whatever the beacon dealio was, before I completely forget about it again, we're just gonna grab these 6 iron bars and then go fix it. Because if all I had to do was, for the other beacon, was restart it, I'll just head over here and restart these. That one's still going. So yeah, I don't know what happened with these other ones. Maybe I should have verified whether or not the small beacon was corrected. This late into 1.17's history, it should be fixed. But we'll just go anyway. I remember when fences didn't connect to blocks. Oh well. Alright, I'm looking for... There it is. I'm looking for you, Pikachu. If it already shows the stuff though, I wonder if I can like do that. This was an interesting order to go about it. Let me make sure real fast that there's not some other issue sprouting up. I have no idea what the dealio is. All of this should be fine. I could knock. Well, no, because even then it should still have at least the first one going. Something else is preventing the beacons from activating, and I don't know what the problem is. I do not know. Alright, well, that's a problem for future me. Probably. Maybe I will verify real fast that the other beacons are going. Because I know this one was made out of strips of iron and gold. But it all shows it's grayed out on there. How about we head back? Because that singular beacon's doing fine. Wonder if I would have to redig and place back down again. I don't know. If the big old beacon that I have off in this area is doing fine, then there's nothing else I know how to do. I remember my little spruce hut. My little log cabin. That one turned out alright. Does anyone know what the beacon visibility range is? Because that's something I do not know. I don't even know the effect distance. I'm about to go for a swim. And hiya! I figured this would be the shortest path just to get here. You know what the smart thing to do would be though? Try to get a strider over here. The only problem is having it navigate the dry terrain. Taking it off the lava, it'd be really slow. I see that, but where's the effect? There we go. That'd be way over here. Fire only... Oh, that's right, because I ran out. I wonder then... what's the problem with the other beacon? Oh well, I don't know if there's anything I can do. The last step, I guess, would just be dig it up and try placing it down again. Maybe later. Alright, while I'm in the area... I'm going the wrong way. Oh wait, there's not a fast way. Never mind, I'm going the right way. Mostly. I need to go all the way to the opposite side of the 11A world. We have stuff over there. Let me just do some compulsive train smoothing. Back in the good old Endev. Super noise. It feels. You know, I almost wonder if it would have been a better investment to just set up a bunch of individual beacons all over the place. And then just have those all with speed. As opposed to making a few super beacons. Whee. And like, you can clearly see the difference between torchlight and skylight, and I have no idea why that is. And of course, I don't know why there's a chunk border issue either. Do copper golems have their original functionality where they like to press copper buttons? Because other than pressing copper buttons, I don't remember what they do. Here's the time to experiment. Because sure, you can look on the wiki what they do. Well, that's not as fun as exploring, figuring out yourself. Alright, I'm looking for right over here. Except I don't have the shulker boxes on me, and this is as far as I've gotten. Oh boy. We're gonna work on this for a little bit. I have the bed right. Yep. Gonna need it. So the sun goes down that way. Face the bed this way. Num 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 num. I like my ability to sprint. And now nice and full on saturation. We'll just work on this for a little bit, then go from there. Oop. Let's try not to lose this into lava, though. Every cobblestone counts. I don't know what for, but losing a cobblestone adds up over time. And because I like building with cobblestone so much, I'd rather not lose it. Not so much as that I would go swimming in the lava, though. It's probably not worth that amount of time. Alright, well, that's gotten us closer. We'll see how far we go before the inventory fills up. Howdy, Ian, welcome back. I wonder if I should just square this out now. Decisions. Look, super old iron ore. Of course, that iron ore is not going to drop iron ore anymore. That kind of reminds me, I should do something with all the copper I accumulated. I don't know what I'll use it for, other than placing it in the block museum and waiting for it to oxidize. 2 days left of this week after today, so it's 2.5 days. Come on, Zella Moon, I believe in you. Do-do-ba-doop. There we go. And back to swinging the pickaxe. Nothing's happening Friday because Friday's stream is happening next Friday. That gives me a week to prepare for the grand finale. I should say the grand part finale. The end of UMP Part 4. I remember way back when I started Part 4, I remember setting up the outpost in the improperly generated Disco Mountains. I don't know what I'm going to do for the grand finale yet. I haven't figured that out. I have a week and a half to figure it out. There's not much to do in that outpost. It is a good area, but I don't know what to do. When I ended off, I should say when I ended off Part 3, I was just working on a big ol' nice house over near Indevia Plateau. Ring in other players. I don't know who would participate. And they'd all have to travel. And everyone would have to make sure that the terrain off to the side, not that far away, loads correctly, because it hasn't loaded correctly since 1.13. We experienced crashes out in the ocean from there. We shall see how things go, because I don't know what all would happen in the single player to multiplayer conversion on top of that. Whoop. With just those chunks, what if people go exploring? I don't even know what the people would do since there aren't any trees. It's giant pillars of sand. All the trees would be south. I had to think that. All the trees would be south at the improperly generated roofed forest. For what reason then, I ask? Are you wanting this to be part 4? The end of part 4 of multiplayer. They have Cooper chests. Sven Cooper. Everyone I say who plays Sven co-op. Of which I'm pretty sure I don't have that installed currently. It's taking up space. Uninstalled it after the 10-year anniversary. The outpost started part 4, but like, what does that have to do? Well, I know what it has to do because that is where it started. This part. I guess I'm not understanding, or I should say, I don't see the importance of it to be that much. It's a good place for building, but all the materials would have to be imported. And that little iron right there is gonna get to live. I don't feel like digging it up. And we're gonna move that little iron there. I'm not giving people creative mode access on here. Who buzzed me? Nothing important. Oop. This lava lake has extended farther than what I originally anticipated. What do you expect to find under the outpost? It's stone until bedrock at level 0. All your buildings would end up looking gray, exactly like the majority of the buildings I have way over here. That'd be comedic. Over 3 hours, just how much iron and gold do you expect to accumulate? Thought I heard something, but the game sounds still don't work on multi-MC. I tried making a brand new instance, see if it was just something with my settings. No, multi-MC just does not provide the game audio. I don't know what the problem is. Maybe I'll get lucky, and however I do the mod setup tomorrow, well, I guess after today's stream, when I get the mods going, we'll see if somehow magically the resources get loaded. I feel like your scale is too large. Expecting a bunch of people to participate in something with me is an overstatement. Has it only been an hour into today? Oh well, at least we're almost done digging cobblestone. I guess I set a short time limit unintentionally by not remembering to bring the shulker boxes. Something I'd have to avert my gaze from. Hooray. Oh, we're only at 25. 25. 25 layers times. This is 2 chunks, right? Yeah, 2 by 2. So 32 by 32. I made a mistake. We're gonna have to leave the sleeping bag here. I don't have the space to take it back with me. Oops. Unless... How much longer until nighttime? Couple more minutes. Oh, well, by the time I get there. Unless if... I don't think I have any short-term storage spaces around here. I guess what I could try doing is just freeing up a slot by trying to place down torches, although I don't know how good the torch placement's going to be with full brightness. Nobody takes fall damage on here because it's a game rule. It's not something with, um, it's not something with my player data specifically. Fall damage, fire damage, drowning damage, and phantom spawning are all disabled. And there's a trader over here. Are you useful? Nope. There you go. Nighttime is here. Classic, except you still have health. You still take other types of damage, and resources are limited. There's a log. I have to take that back too. But then that means I'm gonna have to free up 2 slots. Alright, well, I guess we're plopping down a bunch of torches. I need the inventory space to pick up this stuff before I leave. I don't really need to, but it would be best to do so. I feel like building a Steve statue is gonna end up looking like the Cobble Man that a certain user of the past liked to construct all the time. Everyone's world, every possibility. There's one on Minecraft Legacy. Oop, let's not end up down there. It'd be inconvenient to go out. I don't know when I'll clean up the terrain over here, but at least getting the torches in the area first is going to make things safe for whenever I do take the time to clean up the terrain. Alright, well, I've now cleaned up 2 stacks, but since I still have more torches on me, and it feels like it's possible to get this whole area nice and bright, we'll keep going a little bit more. Question is, do I want to cross over into that world, or do I want to stay in this one? I'll probably end up staying in this one. Alright, we'll take the bed. And then... Hold on, didn't I just put this torch down? How do we already have lighting bugs? Unless that torch happened to be old. But there are not many torches in this area when I started just a few minutes ago. I feel like the way light propagation works, torches should not have a negative effect on other torches. All light should be additive, with darkness being default. Oh, feels like we're so close. I might be able to wrap this up real quickly here. As you see all the light over there? If I could just fill in this dark space between that area and here, I'd feel satisfied with the work completed. Nom 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 nom. I feel like it's something with chunk, or I should say light across chunk borders not updating properly, since that's where the darkness is seen. The chunk that the torch is in is lit up fine, but the chunk next to the torch is not lit up. And whoop. Alright, how are things looking? There we go, isn't this much nicer? Now look at all this light in the area. Eventually, all the grass will be plenty bright. We're not there yet. It'll take us a while. Probably not part 4. I don't feel like spending hours in my free time. Nope. I don't feel like spending hours of my free time next week placing down many torches. That's another buzz. Is that important? Nope. Oh, yeah, we'll move that up. I have to move up, oops, as well. You don't ever have any 5 hours of time availability, ignoring time to sleep. Oop. There, we're gonna fill up the last of the darkness over here. No, we're not going to, because I don't have enough torches. I'd probably need another 10 extra. Oh, we're so close. We almost had enough. I was trying to light up all of this area, but alas. Did not happen. We got close though. Alright, now I realize we're done placing torches so we can catch some Z's, reset the weather timer. Oop. There we go. I wonder, is there any way for me to access the dirt over there? It's kind of on the way back to the warehouse, because I need to put all this cobblestone away. All these torches prevent Enderman spawning in all circumstances as well. Oh, I can't get to that. I was hoping this would be connected. Alright, you gotta go. Yeah, one thing with Enderman is they will like to move the world. Not every time do I get the chance to sleep. Every night, I should say. So when the time comes that I don't sleep the night away, I won't have to worry about anything else existing. If anything, instead of connecting it, I would just tear this part down. In fact, we're going to say goodbye to all of you. There you go. And then I'll figure out some way to get up there, because I don't plan on getting rid of this mini monolith. Which reminds me that I need to expand the fake monolith. I wonder how much stone I have. Maybe that's what we'll work on next. I don't feel like tree chopping to finish the shelves. I'll do that later. The monoliths would be interesting, and I don't have to worry about falling off. It'll just be a minor inconvenience. Alright, slimes, get over here. You see the big bounce castle right there? That's what you're gonna become. You've only seen a few classic episodes. You're not one of those super committed fans who goes back and rewatches the episodes from the beginning. Don't worry, most people don't do that. I can't do that though. I'd have to start from the beginning and get all the way through. I would never rewatch the Walking to the Farlands episodes though. Most of that I would skip. I would, however, watch the Overworld Farlands arrivals. Those were interesting. And then, of course, the last few portions. And good thing I spent all my torches, because now we have even more slime balls. Swords still can't break blocks, right? Oh, is that a creative only thing? I guess swords only do not break blocks in creative. I remember when they added that change. It was so nice. I'm pretty sure the reason why it would happen, because plenty of players, myself included, were working on a build. It would be dark, bad guys would spawn, so you'd get out a sword and start attacking, but if you missed, you would break blocks, and that was not fun. And so in creative, swords don't deal block damage anymore. What happened in 202 was 202 the first one you saw? The first time when you showed up on the series. I wonder if I have anything on top of the monolith, because I'll have to redo the dirt. I'll probably just get rid of it all, let it fall, go down, pick it up, and then try again. Nom, 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 nom. I'll also need dirt that spirals around. This should be fine. So I'll need, what was it, 64 blocks, I think, plus, I should say 64 times how many it covers. And how about we grab a shulker box real fast? There we go, that one's now full. Toss that, toss the log, I'll need torches. Boop, boop. Why did everyone start using the phrase crash out over meltdown? As with everything, it seems like with me in modern day terminology, it's one of those minor annoyances. I'll take all that. I'll take all the coal. Hooray, me of the past mining all this coal. I can fund torches forever. That's not true. I probably have enough coal, since those are all blocks up there. I probably have enough coal to light up the whole world. I should say light up the whole pole. I'm not lighting up. How far have I traveled? About 65,000, 66,000 blocks. That's not happening. You missed the middle step where you missed what's good, and it was just shortened to WSG. I should write in the book again. I'm gonna write that down. And boop. Alrighty, so we are going to grab stone. Like a stone said. Audio slave, I think. Oh, I need dirt. Alright, so the amount of dirt I'll need would be about a stack, but we're gonna take 2. I should say there are a lot of phrases that you're gonna question why. That's just how time works. Phones don't have a maximum number of letters, but why do you shorten stuff? People get lazy and they don't want to type things out entirely. That's why the death of proper grammar is upon us. Because people just don't want to type things out entirely. I should put a bubble column inside this. Make a little door near the bottom. And that way, I don't have to deal with these stairs. Because this is getting continuously tiring. And the fact that it's got to be even taller. Oh boy. Is shorthand what people consider proper, though? I don't believe it's a shift in what's considered proper. Because when it comes to stuff like filling out full on legal documents and whatnot, you gotta make sure slang is not used, correct terminology is used. What do you find in legal agreements? Proper grammar. You know, all the terms and conditions that people don't read and just say accept anyway. We're almost there, I think. Once we get to the top, we're gonna sleep. Oh, Giant Zelamoon. Hooray, we made it! Yay, alrighty, so let me just take a quick look real fast. So how does this go? Looks like I just went around and then plopped down all that. So I have 3 layers. So it's 2 layers of dirt, and then the top layer is grass. So then what we're gonna do, we're just gonna dig up all this dirt. You know what, here, we'll sleep first. This is about to become the highest point in the world. Farewell, Tiny Zelamoon. Yeah, maybe what I'll do is this top one first. I'll do the top layer and then dig up the sides next. I want to say last time I just started putting the stone on top when I expanded from 128 to 256, and I didn't really like that. And so this time, we're going to do it differently. This all will also be the last time. Let me just verify real fast. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, yes, we're going up to 320. Or 384? No, 384 is the total size. 320 is the block limit. I guess 319, but that's not important. I've already dug out everything underneath the monolith. The only problem is it's all water. I would plan for the advancement, that is assuming that fall damage is not a requirement, because if fall damage is a requirement, I'm not getting the advancement. Like, otherwise, otherwise, I would have a dedicated area to collect all the stuff. The fall. I would want to build a separate tower unrelated to the monolith to go from the top of the world to the bottom. Let me whip out my Silk Touch real fast. This way, that's the back side. Oh, there's staircase there. So you have to fall, but Minecraft does it not expect you to land? Does no fall damage also mean you don't technically land? That's where my question's coming from. You know what? I think I might have a limited amount of time because I bet I have dirt blocks that are stuck on the outer dirt ring that I constructed. Y velocity becoming 0 is what counts as landing. You know that absolutely from a technical level. Makes sense to you? Well, what if there's just a server lag spike? Because, you know, that can also happen in single player. Chunks take too long to load, and so it sets your velocity to 0. There would need to be some sort of test that you fell, because Minecraft keeps track of fall distance. There need to be a way to verify when you are no longer falling and are instead on top of a block. I feel like your ideology is not sound from a technical level. What do we have? A little over half an hour. See how long it takes for us to climb this. We'll see if I do decide to keep this dirt staircase afterward. The reason why I put it was because I needed to get grass all the way to the top. And then time passed, and I got Soak Touch, and that was no longer necessary. But I had to expand it from 128 to 256, so I kept it. But now that it goes all the way to 320, I don't know if it's absolutely necessary to keep. Well, either way, what we'll do, I have a plan for how I want to do this. So let me set this here. And I'll probably just keep that like that. Let me grab a bunch of stone. Actually, right, put away most of that dirt. And I guess the extra torches. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pillar up a whole 64 blocks for each of these. And then I'll just go one column at a time. Goodbye, flying football. If I need to redo the top part, I'll figure that out at the end. Okay, good. I can see at least the top of this. Because I'd rather not try to fall and miss the next stone portion. If anything, I fall on the block outside, then land on the nearest part of the pathway. But if I land on the or if I should say if I fall on the inside, there's nothing to stop me from going all the way to the bottom again. That would be most inconvenient. Boop. I remember expanding this to 256. The original monolith was short because it was only about 64 blocks tall. I guess minus the last few blocks. So I guess it was only around 60 blocks tall. Well, then going from 128 to 256, I had to add another 128 blocks on top of that. So building it 60 blocks tall to begin with wasn't that bad. Howdy, Koski, welcome back. You feel old? Well, this was only about 3 years ago. Because I would have done this shortly after 1.2. Because I remember working on that flying football around the same time. Which was also in 1.2 with the expanded heights limit. Only 3 years ago is going to become short. Just you wait. 40, you're going to turn 40 and realize that 37 was only 3 years ago. And high school being 22 years ago. That will make you feel old. It's all about relativity. Your perspective of time will shift as you get older. When you say making your desktop look modern, are you talking about the physical tower, or are you talking what you see when you load up the computer and haven't opened anything yet? I should say what you see on the monitor. The software desktop. What are you doing to your desktop on there? I keep mine simple just because I don't care enough about looking modern. Can't remember if I asked before, how many screens do you have? Or how many screens do you normally use? Grand total of 1. I cannot work in that environment. I would need multi-monitor setups for anything longer than short-term usage. What part of RGB do you not like? Any of it? But why? I'd expect Linux to support multi-monitor setups. If you're having, or I should say, if your operating system is limited to only one monitor, that's a limited operating system. Bright, annoying, and blinding. Can't remember if I asked. Do you wear glasses? Oop, I never set up my bed again. Oh, hold on, we're gonna do something weird. If I can do this right. I don't know if I can do it right, though. I don't think I can do this. Alright, here's a question. What do I pop out at? Please be on the bed. On the block in front of it. Cool. This is a valid spawning position. I want to say beds back in beta would always force you out at one of the certain corners of the bed. Maybe it tried to keep your original position when you popped out. I don't think that always works though. Because I want to say you used to be able to get in a bed and then get out and you'd be on the other side of a wall if you position the bed correctly. Let's see, how far are we? Looks like we're about 25% so far. Should have plenty of stone for this. We'll see if we wrap it up today, though. Man, those clouds are so far down there. But at the same time, 1.17 was only expected to have a 256 height limit. With clouds being ambient, I'm surprised they never added a cloud slider. That was a great feature in Optifine, because I would always put the clouds a little bit above the top of the world. I can still see the Zella moon from here. If you look to your left, you can see the eyes. Is the moon always rendered? Why does it feel like on Bedrock it's not always rendered? You only see both objects during the transitional periods. I thought there used to, or I should say, I thought it used to get cut off at the horizon. Was that changed? The two eyes really stand out watching from a distance. There used to be horizon fog or horizon cutoff of sorts, that if the sun or moon went below it, you couldn't see it anymore. Unless that's a below sea level thing, and this is how it is when you're above sea level. And I'm just used to playing at the bottom of the world because of how low the bowl is. I remember at some point earlier on here in part 3 making mention of the horizon cutoff for the sun or the moon. I think the only way for me to test this is if I were to go over to where the whatchamacallit, if I were to go over where the Sky Islands are, because that's just a giant void hole. If I were to go compare above and below sea level, since it's just a giant void hole, if I were to look down there, oh, did it just disappear? Or did it go underneath? Oh, bye. I do remember you talking about the triangle sun. Did you ever use it? Or I should say, did you ever distribute the texture? Oh, here's a better question. Did you ever find it? Because I feel like you said you lost it. Because wasn't that going to be for HDF Plus? Oh, I just realized you could see one of the beacon beams from here. And moop. I still miss the old 1.7 landing particles. That was so cool. 1.8 made it simple, and I don't know why. The ring of particles when you landed in 1.7 looked amazing. Especially when you fell from really, really high and it created this giant donut. And in 1.8, I want to say the size is consistent and it's not based upon how far you fall anymore. Oh well. It's just a minor visual thing. Well, I believe 1.8 is still the better version if you're playing it properly. Plus the different playing variations for stuff like doors and trapdoors. Nope, trapdoors were later, but the different door types were 1.8 and fences. Alright, we're getting there. We're about a third of the way complete. I wonder if this is what it's like to be a construction worker working on a high rise. We're gonna leave that there and place down another shulker box. I have no idea what that's supposed to mean. Looks like someone just slammed their hand down on the keyboard. Sometimes I wonder if that's how new words are made up. I don't want to look it up. Why can't you tell me? Surely it should be something simple and unoffensive, or else why on earth would you be telling me about this on my humble little Minecraft stream? What do we have, about 20 minutes left of the day? Oops. Based on the time spent, it's going to be close, but I think I'll have enough time for this. Pretty soon here, I'm going to need to eat. All this jumping is making me hungry. And then, of course, once this stream's over, it's going to be lunchtime as well. I don't know what I'm having for lunch yet. I'll see what's in the fridge. And boop. Yo. Yo, yo, yo. What was that? Oh, that was from a movie. That's what Yo 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 was from, I remember. I feel like I have been. I should say, I feel like very little has been revealed, as there's still an equal amount of confusion. Oh, wait, no, keep that there, because that's my dirt one. Boop. There's a lot of phrases that people just start saying for no reason. That's how it's been for all of our lifetimes. I feel like we had this discussion before, like, where do words come from? People just start saying them, and then they spread. I wonder just how many new phrases have come up over the past decade. I feel like with the age of the internet, you can look that up. Okay, we're gonna eat real fast. Make sure our hunger's nice and full, as long as or as well as our saturation. Oh, I see the sunset. Oh, I just realized that's the chunk render distance. You see that big ol' square? Hold on, I'll point it out real fast. So you see how from there to there, I guess to way over there, all of that is the terrain. Well, like, because Minecraft renders 3, 1, 2. Because Minecraft renders its distance fog as a sphere instead of a cylinder, even though the chunks are loaded horizontally, you can't see the chunks vertically because the sphere covers it. And I realized I probably should have done this the other way around because the way I constructed all this stone, This is on the opposite side of where the dirt pathway is. Oh well. And boop. I probably should have been counting how many pillars of stone I've placed so far. I guess at the very end I could count. See how that goes. Wait, what day are we on? 6,635. And boop. Once this is over, I'm going to be seeing stone for a while. Just the constant staring at the stone as it continues to move forward. Oh, wait. There we go. I do have 2 sets of 3. I guess it's 3 sets of 3 if you include the hotbar. Alright, I'll need 16 more, and I only have 9 on me. The good news is I have plenty of stone for this. Once we make it all the way to the top, I'll need to see how much farther we have to go, though. Because I either need to put down another layer of dirt, or I should say I need to put down one more ring of stone all the way around before the dirt, or I already can just put the 3 layers of dirt to begin with. I'm probably just going to leave it as dirt and not silk touch any of the grass and just let it sit there and wait as the dirt ever so slowly crawls to the top. I'm starting to realize that 64 blocks of additional airspace is quite a lot, because not only is the world very, very low, that gave me a lot of space to begin with, and then it was doubled in 1.2 to get 256. That was substantial, a substantial amount of airspace I had available to build in afterwards if I were to stay within the bowl. But now with 64 blocks more, I can have stuff way, way up here in the sky. Unfortunately, it won't start looking good until 1.18.1 specifically, because 1.18.1 changed the rendering of the fog, of the distance fog, from a sphere to a cylinder. So then that means we can see outward as far as the render distance, but we could see straight down and up for the entire duration of the chunks we're in. That way it's not limited. Because otherwise you would need to see a maximum render distance of 384 blocks, and let's see, how far is Minecraft's chunk distance? Let's see. 10 chunks is 160, 20 chunks is 320, 30 chunks is 480. So I guess you would have to see, let's think, 320 plus 64. So you would need to see 24 chunks. You would need a 24 chunk render distance to see the entire column you're sitting in. But even so, that would not allow you to see very far of the land itself. Hooray, math. As I sit here replacing stone after stone after stone. Not much else interesting to think about. I do think, though, we will have enough time to at least get all the way up to the top part. The stone won't be taking too much longer. And so yeah, after this, I'll need 7 more stacks of stone. So empty. I'm looking out and I can't even see the clouds from here. No land, just a couple of the beacons. I wonder though why you could see it from there off in the corner, but then you look straight at it and you can't see it. Hooray, 3D rendering on a 2D screen. I wonder, let me go around this way real fast. Can we even see the Zelamoon? Nope. If I had no fall damage, what I would do... Oh, there's the Zelamoon. I think it came out from the underside of the terrain down there. Maybe that is the void that I was looking at. That's how I was able to see the eyes to begin with. Oh. Trying to guess what's off in the distance is hard just based on what's visible and what's not. Because you could see the chat, that's where you can see the little indentations of certain blocks. Something's over there. But yeah, what I was gonna say is if I didn't have fall damage, what I would do is I would set up a little pool. I would set up a little water area around there where the bed and shulker box is. And then I would just jump into that every time. And zoop. Here comes the Zelamoon. Do 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 do. I'll probably be able to squeeze in just a few more pillars of stone before sleeping. So let's see, where is the horizon marker? Yeah, we still have a couple minutes left. Alright, let's go grab more stone from the shulker box. We're gonna grab 8. Alright, yeah, we'll keep going here. Might as well complete all the way. I was considering having the last 2 be in the reverse direction. I was saying how the eyes had a certain feel earlier, how you just see the haze of the distance, but then the 2 red squares. Kinda interesting, I say. For anyone who uses this resource pack in the future, it's like I'm always watching. Great big head in the sky. Alright, while we're down here... Oh wait, is this bed facing backward? Oops. Maybe I couldn't get it to face the correct direction. I thought I did this though. Oh, I guess doing that just makes it face this way. Unless, hold on. I was supposed to do this the whole time. There we go. We watch as the Zella Moon rises. And now the Zella Moon sets. See you next time, because we're gonna run out of stream time before the Zella Moon rises again. It would make sense that there's a copper golem spawn egg. They figured out their spawn eggs problems right around 1.10 or so. 1.10 was the first wave of bringing in new spawn eggs for mobs that have been in the game for a while. I can't remember when they added the rest. It might be something like 1.13. There was probably 1.13 because of the technical issues. One of the reasons why mob variations didn't have spawn eggs, I believe, was because the way their IDs worked. The whole shared ID thing and the data values what differentiated them. And then that was gone away with in 1.13 with the flattening. So that way everything was unique. Would also keep all their stuff nice and separate. What version was your survival world in before? Let me guess. Beta 1.8 pre-release 1. And zoop. Of course I got it. That's just about the only version you talk about. I have 2 minutes to place 2 columns of stone. If I manage to get the stone in, I don't think I'll have enough time for the dirt. Poop. Hearing you got it made me think of the Mario. The song used for the end credits of the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. I can't well, no, that's not true. I do believe. Hearing part of that song inside the most recent Super Mario movie, I was like, whoa, reference. I had a good time because I remember watching Super Mario Brothers Super Show back when it was still on Netflix. Don't think it's there anymore. Baldi's Basics is a game series I'll probably never get to. I'm currently not considering the Outpost idea. Alright, y'all, as the time starts arriving though, if y'all have any final thoughts, start saying them now because hooray, stream delay and all that. So we'll be back again tomorrow. We're gonna keep working on this since there's not much left to do. Only another layer of stone or so. Then finish up the dirt, and we shall go from there. So thank you all for watching. Bye.